guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that post notification bell button so that you can get a notification every time I post a video. So today I am going to show you guys how to make my mama's macaroni and cheese. It is a southern macaroni and cheese. I know everybody makes their macaroni and cheese different, but this is the way that I am going to make my macaroni and cheese. As you guys can see right now, I have all of the ingredients out. So first you need a pack of sharp cheese and then a pack of mild cheese. So we mix our cheeses together. Before they had the shredded cheese, we would have to shred ours. My mom always wanted to just shred it. She didn't like to get it that way, you know, already shredded. So yeah, so here we have the mild, the sharp. You have to have elbow noodles. You have your pan, and depending on how many pans you make. I was making this for Easter, so I made 4 pans of it, so that's just 2 pans that you see. So this is the first part of the actual ingredients that we use to start out. So yeah, let's get right into it. So now I'm pouring water inside of the pan, and I'm going to let it go all the way up until those 2 silver dots right there on both sides, because I have a big enough box of noodles. Okay, this is a 2 pound, I think it's 2 pounds of noodles in this box. So you definitely have to have a big enough pan for that. So that's why I have like a big size pan to put my noodles in, because I'm making a lot of macaroni and cheese. Then I start to pour my noodles inside of the water. As you can see, it's not boiling right now. I like to put mine in before, but it does not matter which way you do it. You could put it in after the water starts boiling. It's totally up to you. But my preference is to put it in before, because that kind of wakes the noodles up, and then once it starts boiling, they'll be completely ready. So here I put a little bit of olive oil, and the olive oil or vegetable oil or whatever oil you use, you can pour inside of the pot and with the noodles that are boiling, because it will keep the noodles from sticking together. So here I am going to pour the olive oil at the top. Of course you can see it just sits up there, but it actually starts working once everything starts boiling. Separates the noodles from, you know, being stuck to the pan. So definitely use some form of oil to keep the noodles separate. So as you can see, my noodles are now boiled, and how they kind of came up to that line. That's why I said please put the water to that line, because then at least the noodles will come up there, and you can't really see a lot of the water now. So those noodles are definitely ready to be drained. So what I'll do is I'll put it in the drainer, pour the noodles inside of my purple drainer, as you can see right there. So I'm going to take that and put that inside of the sink. And, you know, just like how you would drain anything, you know, you put that inside of the sink and start pouring the actual stuff in there. So I'm taking it to the sink now. And then here I'm pouring my noodles inside, and of course it's hot, so make sure that you have your pot holders or something, because it definitely will burn your hand. So yeah, that's me just trying to make sure that it's even all over. And of course I'm spilling them. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's all in the sink. That will be thrown away. I never put that inside of my pot. I'm real finicky with that kind of stuff. I don't like to, even though the sink is clean, I just don't like to pick the noodles up and put them back in there. So rest assured those noodles were put in the trash. And then now I'm just kind of using my faucet sprayer to kind of spray the noodles all over, and that's just to kind of just get like the hotness off of it. That's cold water that I'm using. It's not hot because the noodles are already hot. So I just wanted to you know, just make sure that I sprayed the noodles and stuff and make sure that it was kind of cool all over. Next, you're going to get your sharp cheese, as you can see right there. And then I'm going to also get the mild cheese as well, which you'll see in a second. And I'm going to pour both of them in a bowl, so that I can kind of mix it together. So you do half of the sharp cheese, half of the mild, and you just kind of mix them all together in a bowl. So you'll see me pouring it in the bowl now. So this is just a bowl. It's a big size bowl, but I normally put both of them in it and make sure that I'm pouring the cheese into both. So right there's the mound. I'm pouring that in there. And I think I did the shop first, but it don't matter which one you do first as long as you make sure that both of them are mixed together. So as you can see, I'm mixing both cheeses in there. Like I said, it took a little longer, but I don't know, it was hard to open the pack. So now you see I have my cheese in one bowl right there, and then I have my noodles in the other bowl, which is still a strainer. And now I'm going to layer it. So I put my cheese down first. That's the first thing to go down is the cheese. Make sure that the bottom of the cheese and stuff is covered. I am still mixing right now, but now I'm going to put it all through the pan like that. You just got to make sure the whole bottom is covered. So I'm going to do that. Make sure that that part is covered. Yep. There you go. Come on, Janice, you got this. Put it all over there. You're missing the space. Okay. All right. My hands are clean. I just want everybody to know that I would not be patting it and stuff like that if it wasn't. Now I'm going to put some of the noodles on top, and you have to make sure that the whole thing is covered so you cannot see the cheese. That's the whole point of it, is to make sure that you do not see the cheese at the bottom. So if you're leveling it like that, as you can see, I'm making it kind of thick, and that's just so that it's not that cheesy, but it is cheesy. So you'll see what I'm saying. I wish you guys can taste it, but yeah, this is how I was taught to make it, to just make sure that the bottom is covered. And then again, I'm going to repeat these steps again. So you'll see me do it again, but this time I'm going to now put some more cheese on top and make sure that all the noodles are covered. So that is the way, you know, that we normally make it. So yeah, just putting more cheese at the top, as you can see, just repeating the steps until you get all the way to the top. Now I normally do cheese, noodles, cheese, and then another thing of noodles, and then cheese, and then that should be the end of that pan. So that's pretty much how we do it. And like I said, you'll see in a few minutes how it is once it's done. So this is the finished product. You do cheese first, noodles, cheese, noodles. Cheese should be the ending product of the whole thing. And then this is how it looks afterwards once it's complete. Next, there is a little contraption that you have to make up. And it includes this mustard right here. You can use any kind of mustard. It don't have to be a particular one. We have paprika right there, and I'll show you where we're going to do with that when it gets close to that time. But that doesn't go in a contraption. And then this is the Carnation evaporated milk. Make sure that you get the correct one, because I have gotten low fat and it pissed me off completely. And this stuff. And then I also got some sweet one time, but that's a whole nother story. But you need a cup, one of the cups, and it has to be 1 cup. And then you have to have an egg to break in this contraption. So, and then you also have to have seasoned salt to put in there. That's what I put in there now. It used to be regular salt, but I put seasoned salt, and then you need the butter for after we complete everything. So you get this bowl right here, and you can get any kind of bowl, but I normally use a small bowl because it's not a lot. So I'm going to get my Carnation milk, as you guys can see right there. And I'm waiting for her to walk past. And yes, the Carnation evaporation milk. I'm going to get this and take the can opener and open it up. And then once we open the can up, you don't have to open it up all the way. That's another thing. Just make sure you open it up just like a little bit. And you'll notice that I'll stop just halfway because you don't want it to just all pour out. And I'm going to pour half of that into, not half of that particular one, but I'm going to fill it up to the halfway mark of the cup. And then that way you could add water to it as well. So that's what I did. I added a little bit of water to it to fill it up to the top. And now I'm going to pour that all in the bowl. And I'm just adding a little bit extra in there just to make a little bit more of a contraption. Then I'm going to add some mustard in there. So what I'm going to do is get a tablespoon. And I'm going to pour some mustard or squeeze some mustard on the tablespoon. And then I'm going to put it inside of my mix that I have right there. And you can use a tablespoon. You just got to fill the tablespoon up. And that's what I'll do. So right now I'm going to crack the egg because you have to have one egg in there. And then once you open the egg up, you can also put the egg. I was having a little difficulties with this egg for some reason. I don't know why. Normally I crack it and it just go in. But yeah, so I'm going to crack the egg. So as you see, I did that. Took me a minute, but it got done. And I'm going to pour that in there as well, as you can see. And it only takes one egg. You don't need two. And then I'm going to put some of this seasoned salt in there. So I just kind of sprinkled it in there. My niece was saying, she was like, I didn't really taste the seasoned salt, but I put seasoned salt in there. And it looked like it was a lot to me, but apparently it wasn't. But I mean, it still was good. Nobody else said anything about it. So, yeah. So then you're going to do some mixing. You got to mix it and make sure everything is evenly all the way through. If it's not, you will see it sitting up on the macaroni and cheese once it's already baked. So just make sure that you're stirring it and keep stirring it. I use a fork. I don't never use a spoon. And I kind of whip it a little bit to make it all mix up into the contraption. So yep, and I mix for a little while. Okay, now I am going to pour my contraption, and that's what I call it, y'all leave me alone, over the macaroni and cheese. So I just kind of like pour it like zigzag sometime, but I make sure it's a little bit on each part of it. So if you see me right now, I'm just kind of pouring, but you know, some spaces I miss, so I'm gonna make sure that I get all of the spaces and just try to make sure that it is completely throughout the macaroni and cheese. Now, like I said, I normally do a cup, but I wanted to add a little bit more because I noticed I would run out faster and I wanted to make sure that it was all the way through. Okay, now is the butter time. So what I do is I cut little thin pieces of butter like this to put it over the whole thing. So, you know, that's one. And then, you know, kind of space them out. Don't put them like, you know, side by side necessarily. You could put it up and down, whichever way you want. Make a smiley face out of it. Whatever you want to do. You don't have to put that much butter on it, but you can definitely put it throughout. So, yep. So I'm going to let you guys see me finish putting the butter over all of it. So now that the butter is on there, you could do it either way. Put the paprika on it first or put it on it after the butter. But I poured on top of the whole thing. So it's just a little bit of shake until the whole thing is covered a little bit. I'm not saying you got to shake a lot, but just shake a little bit throughout so it can be evenly all over. And just like that, that's the finishing product. So you don't have to do anything else but cover it at this point. And you're going to set your oven to 400 for 45 minutes. And you're going to bake it. I normally take it out probably about maybe at the 30-minute mark. And I will take the aluminum foil from the top and then just let it bake a little bit more for maybe about 10 to 15 minutes without it, to make the cheese more and the macaroni and cheese more compact. If you don't want it compact, leave that aluminum foil on, because then that will make the cheese more cheesier and stuff like that, and it won't be as tight. And as you can see, this is the finished product. So, yes, this is how it look once you take the aluminum foil off 30 minutes. So it makes it more of a compact look, but and taste. But I love it this way. But you may like yours more cheesier. If you do, take the aluminum foil off, and then you will get a cheesier look. But y'all just slapped, okay? All right, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.